Hi there, welcome to Season Air, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'm trying to pass a very important message. There's three pictures to my left here, and I want you to follow exactly what I'm saying here. Those three pictures, you can see it. The one at the top, that's a man that's showing you his oil-filled ground, and this water and the sea is full of oil. That's come from the soil that the government of Nigeria has not treated or done in a particular way, and there have been also some oil bunkering as well. So that community, they cannot feed from that from the land, because the pollution is severe, and that is evidence that that land is a land rich in mineral resources, oil, which is what he's holding. You see him with his hands. That's the oil in his hand. Now, the second thing I need you to understand is that that oil shows that that land is a land that belongs to you and I, which means that we are sovereigns over that land. Please keep that in mind. Thirdly, what happens is, from that oil, the government, through an NNPC, starts taking that oil out. Keep in mind, you're the sovereign. The job of the NNPC is to make sure that there is oil available for you to run your nation, to make sure that there's oil cheap enough for you to buy in your nation. That's their first role. Through as they're an agency of the government. The government is meant to be controlling the NNPC, and the government, and we, the sovereigns, control the government. They are all entities that we, the people, control. We need to begin to understand that. And of course, the ultimate result is that when we control them, the price that you buy at the pump will be less, because now they know that their first priority is to the people of the country, because we are the sovereigns. Now, what has been missing in all of this is that we've never exercised our powers of sovereignty, authority, and power. We have never exercised our powers of sovereignty, authority, and power over our land, because those in government has repeatedly made us believe that all we have to do is pray and everything we wanted will be solved. They don't wait on prayers. They are looting the resources. Now, what they are doing with those resources is that they are taking loans. The government is taking loans to pay for the oil, to get money. The government gives away our oil for free. And then they will say, okay, for X amount of years, you can take this oil. So the quota that should be going to our refineries, all of the oil should be processed in our refineries. But because they're taking loans against that oil, it doesn't get to the refinery. Are you seeing this? The money, the oil that's meant to come to our local refineries, it never gets there. Because if it gets to refinery, we can now process it and we can sell to the whole of Africa. But guess what? They make it impossible. That is why of the 4 refineries that we have, the state refineries, the 2 in Port Harcourt, the one in Warri and the one in Kaduna, they have never worked. It's by design. But the reason why they are able to do this is because we have never exercised our sovereignty collectively in our communities. I keep telling you, we need to have this information in our local languages, in Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and other languages, so that our people know their rights and they begin to hold them to account. The money coming from this oil should be used to fix our roads, our water, our light, our schools, our bridges, our healthcare, so on and so forth. The fact that NNPC is now focused on just making sure that companies will give us oil on the basis of the loan that we take on our natural oil, that is making sure that the money, we do not get any benefit from our oil. NNPC is simply giving away our oil on the cheap to all of these companies outside. And then they are forcing us to pay loans over their incompetence, when we could have easily produced our own oil in our own refineries, all 4 refineries. That is not patriotism. There is nothing patriotic about what NNPC and the federal government of Nigeria is doing. They are not in any way, shape, or form patriotic. In fact, they are selling off the whole nation underneath our feet. That's the reality. People will not like to hear this, but we need to state it. The oil in that land shows that we are the people who owns it, because we on that land, the people who are on that land are the sovereigns. That's you and I. And they have decided not to let us, not to desire to put us to one side and not recognize our sovereignty. Our role as sovereigns is to monitor our government through monthly town hall meetings. We'll need monthly town hall meetings. That's got to start now. This oil is the single business of the country. Our nation is run on oil. It is not economical. It is no longer sustainable for us to be praying to a government that is deliberately selling off, giving off our oil for loans, that is indebting our entire society. And then we're saying, oh, we're going to pray for them to fix it. They're not. We need to monitor our government. Our role as sovereigns, Section 14.2a, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority, which means you and I, we have the right to question our government. Under Section 14.2c, I'll give you that line quickly. It says, the participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. That means that you can participate through questioning your government on a monthly basis. This oil is now crunch time. This oil that they are taking, they are giving away oil. That is why they can never provide enough barrels for the local refineries to produce it, because they are giving away the oil and the cheap rate, and we are having to pay X amount in loans every month. And it is cruel, because they are able to buy themselves flash cars and everything else, but there is no money left to fix our infrastructure. You see, we need to intervene. We are the sovereigns. We have sovereignty, we have authority, we have power. And critically, in our local languages, we need to explain this to our people in our local language. I'm going to do this in Yoruba as well. Until we understand this connection that I just showed you, the oil in the land, that land belongs to you and I, which means we are sovereigns. NNPC and the government are working for you and I. We have every right to monitor and question them. And when we question them, the price of the oil will come down, because they will have to process the oil inside Nigeria. What they are doing is taking the money, giving the oil to any of these national companies, and then they are taking loans on the basis of that. And they say, oh, you want more money? Take more loan. And they are not fixing our infrastructure. And unless we exercise our powers of sovereignty, this vicious cycle is going to continue. So here's what I want every community to do. Call yourselves together. Please, we're sharing information about the constitution in local languages, in Yoruba language. I'm going to put it on my website. Share it and teach each other in the community. Stand together. Begin to call monthly town hall meetings. Question all of them. They have to provide answers. And if they are not able to, you have the power to recall your senators, House of Reps, and governors. Impeach them. These are the things we need to do. I'll come back with the second part of this. But I need you to know that right now, we need to start with monthly town hall meetings. Let us begin it. And for further information, do follow me. Listen to Citizen White, the platform where we speak to the power. Thank you. Bye for now.